Welcome back, guys. Today I am pretentious and narcissistic enough to believe that anybody gives a damn about my top 7 carries for December of 2021. Alright, so what you guys see on the screen here is not my top list. These are the knives that make the honorable mentions. In no particular order, we have the Hinderer Eclipse and the Tonto. What I've found with this one is that this really kind of fits my going out knife. The reason it fits a going out knife is because, I don't prefer to carry a Tonto to work with me. It doesn't make too much sense. But when you take this out, you can make simple cuts, and it's a little bit more self-defense-ish, if you will. So that kind of is why it makes it into my pocket when I'm going out. All right, next, my Benchmade bug out. This is going to be a forever contender for the list. It's just a knife that makes it into my pocket quite a bit. This month I just had a lot coming and going, so she didn't make it in there quite as much. Next up, we have my Spyderco Manix 2. At this point in time, I don't anticipate this knife ever going anywhere. This is the Rex 45 version. Pretty badass, and it is a workhorse. I just haven't carried it that much because, once again, I have a lot coming and going. And yeah, but I've really fine-tuned this guy to have the action right where I want it. Everything's really dialed in. It's just a beast. Next on the list is my Offgrid Scorpion. I don't carry this that often because it is a 4-inch blade, but it does make it into my pocket, I would say 2 or 3 times this month, to the point of like, it definitely has a spot on this list, and it definitely has a spot in my heart. I miss this knife quite a bit, and this is probably my favorite version of it. And oh my gosh, Bestech, you guys, it's so utterly smooth, it's stupid. Last on the contender list, and these were in no particular order, by the way, is the Spyderco Smock M4 and titanium scales. Now, I have nothing, there's no reason that this isn't higher on the list. I freaking love this knife. This knife is a beast and one of the favorite knives in my collection. It is just fun, very, very practical. I think I even knocked off the tip at one point in time. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, this is a badass knife. And you're always going to see this, just like the bug out, constantly contend for that upper tier of the list. Let's get on to the real list, and this list is in order. Number 7 is the Kizer Sheepdog 154 cm in micarta. Now, this is a knife that will always probably fight for a tier on the list, and one of the very few knives on my list that is sub $100. This, along with the QSP Penguin, which didn't make the list this time, but again, that's one that'll contend for it, are the 2 knives that are sub $100 that I carry frequently. I love this knife. I love the way it feels. I love the action. I love the blade shape. It destroys boxes, and it is just a pleasure to have. If you guys don't own one of these for $70, I am going to go out on a limb and say there is no better knife for that price ever. Like, under 70 bucks, which I think is what you can get this for, maybe 67 bucks. No better knife whatsoever. Go buy it. Go to White Mountain Knives, use my promo code EDC, get 10% off of it, make it like 65 bucks or whatever it'll come to. You guys will not be disappointed with this particular knife. This is the regular size sheepdog, not the mini, not the large. This is practical and badass. And has the cutout. Make sure you get the cutout. Number 8. That is my Hinderer XM18 Skinny Sheep's Foot. I modded the living shit out of this month. Holy crap, I acid etched this blade. I put a titanium scale on here. I took off the ano on the titanium. I blackened it, and then I sanded it back down. I blackened this. I learned how to blacken titanium because of this knife, which was really cool. And it's dangerous as crap, so watch out. But all in all, I really, truly, this knife is one of those that I will forever, ever own this knife. Obviously, with all the mods that I've done to it too, right? But oh my goodness, is this thing just a workhorse beast, and it is forever mine. And I'm so glad that I get to own this knife. It's just so very cool. That is the Hinderer XM18 Skinny Sheep's Foot. So number 4 on this list is the CKF Fife. Now this knife, oh, So buttery. Isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she lovely? Now, this knife is not only beautiful, but is very functional, and the ergonomics of this are beautiful. This thing is like that perfect mix. Do you guys remember when I talked about the Vero Isotope being slightly too classy to carry on an everyday basis, but too large to be a classy carry because it's too large? This is like a slightly toned down version for some reason for me. Maybe it's the darkened stonewash finish that we got on here, the heavy stonewash finish. But this thing is a daily carry of mine. I carry this very, very frequently. I couldn't tell you how many days of this month that I've carried it, but I did have to, the pivot was coming loose on a regular, so I had to come in there and take it apart and then Loctite it, and I let it sit for like 2 days because I wanted it to be just perfect. And it turned out to just be perfect. There is no back and forth, no up and down, and this thing is smooth as butter. Oh my goodness, do I love this knife. I am very happy I picked this up, and this wasn't intentional. This wasn't like a knife that I'm like, yeah, I need one of those. It was like, it just kind of fell into my lap, the whole situation. So, call me crazy, call me lucky, call me an idiot, but either way, I'm honored to have this, and this will be on this list for quite some time. I love this knife. This knife is so very good, so thin. The way that flat grind comes down, it's not so thin, it's probably about 140 to 150 thousandths, but it's a full flat grind and just so very useful. The CKF Fife 2.0. Number 3 on this list that you are definitely going to see reaching this list more and more and more is my Urban EDC 2, what do they call it, 5.5 or F5.5, whatever the hell this name is. As you can already tell, it is not cleaned up. It is, I need to clean that. But, oh God, is this knife awesome. Talk about just a monster of a workhorse. Now, I want to actually compare this to the Bergblade Slim, and I think I will. To me, it's like a better version of the Slim. And it's very similar to the Slim. Let's see here. So here's the Bergblade Slim. Now, as you can see, they have a very similar design. Now, the only major difference here is the Bergblade Slim wants to force your hands into a specific location, whereas this one really doesn't. But then they left enough room up here for your finger, whereas this one really doesn't. You can choke up, but it doesn't feel that normal. This feels like it's beautiful. I love it. I freaking love this knife. I just found knives that replaced it based on the love for this. It feels like a beautiful piece that wasn't quite finished ergonomically, and then they sculpted this and another couple knives out of that Bergblade Slim, and it just works so perfectly. So the Urban EDC F5.5 is definitely a knife that you're going to want. If you can get your hands on one, guys, this is one of those workhorses, like, oh God, this is so good. This is just such a good knife. Oh my goodness. No back and forth, no up and down, and look at that action. I believe this is a Jesper Vox Nice design. So good. Love this knife. I carried this on Christmas, actually.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
Second to last, or second to first on this list, is the Hinderer XM18 3-inch Skinner. Now, I did just get these scales by Carbodize. You guys saw that video. And if you're not, I'll post it at the end of this, and I'll put in a little banner right there. Go check it out. This is the installation of these. Beautiful scales from Carbodize. Absolutely love them. And this knife is my 5th pocket knife, and it's definitely one that you guys can tell I'm leaning more and more towards the 3-inch to 3.25-inch knives. I don't know why, they're just easier to carry and I just prefer them. I have no need for like a 4-inch knife. I'm not doing super long slicing tasks or super deep puncture tasks. These are just kind of like everyday stuff. That's where these knives come into play. It fits that wheelhouse. It does fit in my 5th pocket. And once again, you can tell I removed the flipper tab on it, and I just think it's oh so freaking gorgeous. It is a beautiful beast of a knife, and I love it so much. This is my Hinderer XM18 3-inch Skinner. Number 1 on the list for December 2021 top most carried knife is the EMP EDC Thick Boy. Oh, what can I say about this? I carried this on Christmas Eve. I carried this 90% of the days that I've had this knife. So I received this, I don't know, what was it, halfway through the month. And I carried it every single day since then, short of 1 or 2 days. This thing is amazing. You guys love the Nimble. I've seen, you know, the Lefty EDC live stream where everybody's like, oh, the Nimble's the best knife of the year. Now, I'm not downplaying the Nimble, guys, but don't sleep on the thick boy. First and foremost, it's made by Bestech, which really, really great stuff here. I believe the blade steel's S35, and you guys might scoff at that for the price, but Bestech and their designs, and Bestech's one of the most expensive OEMs. So naturally, it's going to cost a little bit more, and you have to sacrifice something. Now, I don't know. I think I would rather have an S35 than an M390 or S90 or S110 or whatever on a knife like this, because this is kind of one of those that you don't want to be scared to go and just, I mean, it's tiny, not tiny, but it's small, but it's definitely something that can get some work done. In hand, this feels oh so good. This feels so good. Even this right here with your finger kind of hanging off doesn't feel bad. And it's just so good. The action is great. This bolster lock here, I mean, is so light. Oh man. And then I have this thing where I try to catch it on the jimping and then flick it back open, which is just like our little game that we like to play. It's cute, you know, we get along. Oh man. All right. That is all I got for you guys. Don't forget to go check out that other video of the installation of the carbonized scales. And you guys, stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking rest of your day. Thanks for watching.